Hello everybody and welcome to Guild Wars 2 Flame and Frost Retribution. It's the brand new dungeon. This is a walkthrough video basically explaining what happens in the dungeon and how to get past it all. Lots of the mobs are actually very similar, so I'll show you the first time that you meet them and then I'll just explain to you that you can just use the same tactics on this bunch and this bunch and this bunch. It's also introduced some new materials and some new gear which will be talked about later. Sorry if the sound quality is not amazing. I'm using an old headset and it does not respond well. So here's your first bunch of mobs. This is basically just a bunch of Molten Alliance people. They're all pretty normal, regular attacks. They're the normal bunch, so you don't have to really do much with them. Finish them off, and that's quite simple really. Then you come up to this machine and shield drill through, which is actually quite long, so I'm going to skip out again. Now you'll find these holes in the wall which pour out enemies. There you go, perfect timing even. And yeah, these are exactly the same as any normal mob you would find, except for veteran and champion version. So just finish these guys off, which will be very easy with a good group. Goes down pretty fast. And make sure you check each of these, as there is in fact ore in them, and they have the chance of dropping these azurite crystals, and these azurite crystals are what make the new armors, which give vitality, power and toughness. There's a bunch of blobs that come out. They're the same as normal mobs again. In fact, this whole tunnel is full of normal mobs, which you don't really need to do anything special for. I didn't actually get hit by any of these guys, I don't think. These oozes, toxic oozes. Grab your mithril, and then the spiders come out. Nothing to worry about with spiders. The only thing you'd have to worry about is poison, but I don't even get the oh yes I do. There's a short poison there, but they go down really easy actually. I think this is like the easiest bunch in the tunnel. Then you're going to move on to some earth elementals. The only thing you need to know about these guys is they reflect projectiles, but only when they have that little force field around them. So be careful with that. And then you'll come to these toxic oozes. Now these translucent oozes, they have this nasty pull ability which is just flinging me around, and I'm a thief, which makes it very difficult if I get constantly hit. So I nearly went down there. You have to have something to escape that if you haven't got stability. Then make sure you get all your ores. That ore there that you can still see on the map is actually above, so don't worry about that. That's orichalcum. Watch out for those dropping rocks, they do a lot of damage. So you've got 3 trolls here. You've got a champion and 2 veterans. They're actually quite simple, just the same as any normal troll. Head up, and to the right up here, which I didn't go down, there is in fact orichalcum ore, with the chance of giving you azurite orbs. So I'll look down there now in a second. I'll just turn around, there we go. And they're all going down to get the orichalcum, but I was too lazy. So instead, I decided to go down here and just go on with the story.
That'll do. Come on.
I didn't quite realise that it comes up so fast, and that happened, which was kind of painful. So well. So you pretty much simply go through. This is very easy. Nothing difficult, just wait for the fog to go down and then go. I'm going to talk up a bit because the volume is obviously pretty bad on this mic, which is quite annoying, and I'm going to be very quiet for the cutscene so you can enjoy it too, in case you don't want to do this dungeon for all those solo players out there.
The wolf in me is growling.
Mine too. I mean, you know what I mean.
Believe me, I do.
They're testing weapons here. Captured prisoners.
Is that spirits, I know it.
Okay, so head down and you'll eventually get to this bridge. You want to watch out for these blobs of lava, which are actually quite damaging, but you'll be okay. Then get into this small square room, which is obviously a boss area, and you don't expect that to drop down, but it does. So my advice would be just to try and stay out of the way. If you do get caught by one, just push that dodge button, and you should be fine. Don't do that, because you'll get destroyed. Yeah, so I get hit quite a few times here, actually. So after each of these weapon tests, you'll get this section here where it'll say stop the weapon tests by destroying the thermal core, and you have to attack that big flashing thing in the middle. I, of course, was oblivious to this and was just not attacking it. I was attacking all these mobs on the outside, which are completely useless. So, as you can see though, it's right in the middle there. You can target it. I'm just targeting there actually, and I'm hitting it by accident. But yeah, I would focus all my damage on that, because once you get it down to a certain point, all those mobs will disappear anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is the second wave of weapons, where he has these tornadoes, flaming tornadoes, and they... his expression there. Yes, they stop on that middle thing. So the thermal core. So hide behind it and find out which direction they're coming from, then get on the other side to avoid that damage, and you should be fine. I somehow dodged that one. I don't even know. I didn't even think I had, and I didn't get hit by that one either. But remember, you run faster forwards than you do walking backwards. So try and walk backwards and try and run forwards if you can. Now these are protectors. I'm putting this clip here because it's very important through this dungeon. There's lots of these guys, and basically they put this force field around them that burns you when you walk through it, and anyone that's inside it is immune to damage. Now you have to remember that for the rest of the dungeon. So then you go on to the third wave of weapons, which is these flame balls that come from the roof, and that's basically any normal puzzle that you have in this game, where you avoid the red circles and stay out of danger's way. It's nothing new to Guild Wars 2. Okay, then you get the final wave. You have to take down the thermal core, right down. And then you get everything at once, which is pretty crazy, but I did actually survive it. Right until the end I did fall down, but best tip is avoid the ripples and the tornadoes the most, I would say, and make sure you're not running with the fireballs that are landing on the floor. So he'll pop down and he's like level 1 which is quite funny. You destroy him in a couple of seconds, turn right, and there is your first chest. So these are important because you have berserkers here which come up to you and attack you, and you have these riflemen that have these sonic cannons. The further they are from you, the more damage they do. So you've got to try and get close to them, but at the same time you have these berserkers who are usually with them that actually do more damage when you're close to them. So you want to try and focus on the riflemen and stay away from the berserker, because the brawlers are the ones that smash the ground. But also you'll notice at the back there, you can't see it now, there is a fan control system at the back, which is stacking on cold with these fans, and I'm actually losing a bit of health to that cold. But also his power stomp attack is very powerful, so try and get close to the ranged guy, the one that just shot that bullet at me, and stay away from that attack because that does so much damage. It takes me straight out. So yeah, as you can see, I've had to turn invisible because I'm just getting destroyed here by this guy. his attack is insane. He also jumps at you, which is quite annoying. There you go, bang. Doof, I went straight down. So you want to take out these things first, preferably, because if you're attacking whilst this cold air is going through, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So do that. And there's another fan here and some more enemies here. I'll cut out because you don't need to see how to beat them. But basically, this is what happens if you don't take out the cold generators. So I would retreat back up to here and pull them up so that you can take them out in safety without getting hit from these very annoying fans which do a lot of damage when they stack up. Yeah, there you go. So that's how much damage they do, and as soon as you take it out, that all goes away. Now you get a whole bunch of guys down here. Pull a few of them if you can, get them over. But as soon as you feel like you have to go down, go right to the back of the room. I'll do it in a second. Here we go. Right, so I run over here and run straight past them, because look, I've got that cold buff on me again, which is doing damage, and then target that box, that coolant box, just so that everyone can come over and pay attention to it, because some people just don't realise it. I didn't realise it until the very end. Well, until I was running over there. Right, so take that out, and then everyone can take out this effigy in peace, because the effigy buffs everything around it, which means all the enemies are going to be stronger. But once you finish that guy off, and all the others, and well, if you feel comfortable, take down this faulty gate, make sure you've cleared all the enemies, and then you'll get these doors open. Go to the left and you'll get this secret. Well, I think it's more of a secret. And these guys are hardly anything, they're all veterans, so no big deal. They're nothing too difficult. They go down in about 20 seconds. Mind you, I have quite a lot of bleeds on them, so yeah. See? That wasn't so bad. So they're all down, and then you just got to hop across this tiny bridge over here, and you'll find this hidden thing. I would call it hidden. You don't have to go this way. It's just some corrupted pages. Oh, crumpled pages. Crumpled pages, which you have to take to someone in Lion's Arch. So that's obviously going to be a bit more story. And then head right, which is the way you're supposed to go. Now you're going to have tons of enemies down here. I've given you all the tips for how to take out all the enemies, so I'm just going to skip all of it. Basically, just stick together, make sure those protectors don't protect everyone, make sure you pull everyone out of their protective circle. Also get close to those shooting things so that you can take them out easy. Make sure you revive all the prisoners as well every time, because they go down quite quick. Now you head down here, down this small ramp. Looks familiar to any dredge area, really. That guy's inventory was almost full. So you head down here, and there's a whole bunch of enemies down here. There's a couple there, but there's a whole bunch more there. There's a couple more here as well. There's actually quite a lot on the way down. It's all these freeing the prisoners. You got to fight enemies every time you got to free a prisoner. You got another bridge here where you got to dodge the lava like a pro, and that's just as simple as the other one, really. No real issue. There's another prisoner right here. They're all very easy to get, to be honest, but this bit is particularly hard. This bridge is particularly hard. Basically, just stick together. I would suggest some projectile blockers to stop them getting you with their projectiles, but I aggroed a bit too many at once and unfortunately went down, which was quite bad, but eventually we got through it. It's just the normal mobs again. Now I would say pay attention here. I did not. I was oblivious absolutely lost on me, these massive things coming out the sky, and then smack. I got hit by one, and I didn't even see it coming, I'll be honest with you. But there's some orichalcum ore, and as you can see I'm getting the azurite orbs, which is the rarer of the two. You can only get it from the orichalcum node, but remember, these nodes, these mining nodes in this dungeon, replenish every 24 hours, so you can't farm this dungeon to get orichalcum or mithril. It won't work. Okay, so this fight's pretty normal. That was just another normal fight. Just stick together as usual and you'll get through it. The steam here, I didn't realise it was going to come down quite so fast. Teleported, was facing the wrong way, got owned. So that wasn't too successful. But once you get past that, you'll then have Braham and Rox come over and they'll have a little conversation, which will open up the door. Q door, there you go. Now you're approaching the final two bosses, or the final boss, with 2 stages. It can be pretty difficult, especially for a thief, because you can get one-shotted, but I switched to that because I wanted a higher hit chance, and if any conditions were there I didn't know what I was coming up against. This is hilarious, by the way. Okay, so basically my tips here are use your ranged weapon and shoot from a distance and focus entirely on the Molten Firestorm at the beginning, avoiding the Berserker, because the Berserker, he is actually quite dangerous. He shadow steps to you and does a lot of damage, whereas this Firestorm guy, he just flings out mini AoEs which are really easy to dodge because they move so slowly. And eventually he will go down, which I'll show in a second. Doesn't take long, as you can see. His health's going down pretty fast. Owned. So then you'll be left to tango with this guy, and he does this special move that you're seeing now quite a few times during the fight. And for thieves and elementalists, it's a one-hit. Boom. But I'm not sure if it was that or him shadow stepping to me that actually knocked me down. Whatever it was, it did a lot of damage. And if you go down with this guy and he's focused on you, you're pretty much dead instantly, because he has this AoE attack, which just takes you down whatever health you're at, really. Just even if you're on the floor, you're down, and it hits everyone. But if you want to dodge the big attack, you can stay on the other side, like that. And he also has his normal attack, which you can also dodge by evading. As a thief, it's quite easy, but watch out for these ripples afterwards, because they knock you, and if you go off the edge, you're immediately downed, but you're not out. So stay away, but if you do get stuck, evade into it, just like that, and watch out for the rocks that fall afterwards from the roof. They take about 1.5 seconds to hit the ground from when the red ripple comes, but you can avoid it, and then he'll go down eventually, like that. And this is where you get your big loot. This is the big chest. So yeah, I got quite a few good things there. This was my first run, obviously, because I wanted to get this out to you guys quick. So here you go, you can see...
This door is locked.
Oh yes, you have to block up the vents and blow up the generator. So she's going over there to block up that one, to put a bomb on it, sorry. I don't actually know how to put the explosives on it, so I will probably put it in an annotation when I find out. I couldn't actually figure it out, but here's one of the other vents, and there's one really far on the other side as well. And this is actually a really fun piece. You're escaping the facility, which is exploding. Quite fun as a thief. and there's stuff falling from the sky, and there's flames everywhere. It's really quite neat. I actually enjoyed it a lot. So do stick with it, and you're just about done. These pipes, you don't really have to evade. I don't think it makes any difference really, because you get this locked on buff that you can't get rid of because you're above the lava, I guess, and it's a hot grate. But then you're at the end of the level, the end of the dungeon, and thanks for watching. Let me know if you liked it.